I didn't plan this, but I'm gonna do it. At approximately 11 o'clock this evening, I watched a video in which a very talented individual made a Baby Yoda, and thanks to Rachel, I now have to make my own Baby Yoda. I have linked her video in the description, and you need to check it out because it was fabulous and it has what inspired this video. I look crazy because it's almost midnight and I have to work tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I'm going to make a Baby Yoda this weekend. I've already begun, kind of. This is his head. This is his tiny little head. Based off of reference photos, I think this is going to be okay. So that's my plan. I've begun. I'm going to continue. Let us go. So, as you saw, Thursday night, watched Rachel's video, had to make my own Baby Yoda. Thursday night, I ordered clay tools, and then I made the armature. So the armature I made out of 55-pound galvanized steel wire, 16 gauge. It was just what we had in the garage, and I figured, you know, I had to order the clay. I was ordering the clay tools, but I wanted to get started that Thursday. Like, I was feeling so motivated, so I found whatever we had in the garage, which was this wire, aluminum foil, it's a given, and I began. I left his body basically just a spine and arms and legs, because I knew I was going to try to stuff him. I wanted to kind of try to make him posable, and then I protected the wire with the aluminum foil at the recommendation of my friend Sarah, and then began fleshing out his head with the aluminum foil. I really wanted to try and make it, you know, not really as wide as it is in the show. Like, if you look at his head from the side, it is a very, like, wide head. I wanted to, like, nod to that, but maybe not make it so wide, because that was going to be a lot of aluminum foil and it was going to make it, like, really bulky in the head. So after that, I went thrifting. The next day after work, I went thrifting, and I went to Goodwill, and I found these curtains that I thought were a nice color. They, like, weren't too brown, but they weren't too light tan. I thought it was, like, a good in-between, because some people were using brown in their art, some people were using tan in their art, and I was like, well, I want to find, like, a happy medium, because honestly, it depends on the lighting in the show. It just depends. And then I found the perfect color Sherpa, in my opinion, on the inside of a little boy's jacket. Don't know what possessed me to go over to the children's section, but I was getting kind of desperate because all I could find was, like, the really big, thick, like, Sherpa blankets at this particular Goodwill. So yeah, ended up with the curtains, ended up with the Sherpa. Then the next day, the clay came in, and I was so excited. So I started by fleshing him out, you know, adding, like, a layer of clay all over the aluminum foil, trying to make his head the shape that I wanted it to be. And I found that I started with the eyes and moved forward from there, and I think it really helped me, like, to know where the eyes were and then to place everything around that. I probably paid a little bit too much attention to his wrinkles. Like I think I made them more pronounced than they are in the show. However, I still think he looks really cute and pretty close. So, you know, I'm very, very happy with my sculpt. I'm honestly amazed it turned out that well. I have sculpted before. I actually went to school for graphic design and took a bunch of classes, you know, outside of those departments. So I did take some sculpting classes and some painting classes and some photography classes. And I think that really paid off here in the sculpting department. I love him. I'm really so happy with him. So after the sculpting, I put him in the oven at 275 for about an hour and 15 minutes. I did end up burning some of the clay, but it's fine because I painted over it. Ended up painting him twice because the first time it was really late at night. It was in this room, which clearly does not have the best lighting, and I took him downstairs the next morning and I was like, oh, this doesn't look as good as it does in my room, like in other parts of the house. So I decided that after I finished his clothes, I would repaint him again. After I pulled him out of the oven, I cut out like a little black body shape, and well, two of them, and then I sewed them together, turned it inside out, turned it the right way, pulled it on to him and stuffed it as full as I could. It got a little weird around the arms, so you can't pose him, like he's not as posable as I wish he was, but you can still move his arms a decent amount. In terms of his clothing, it really is just a basic potato sack pattern. I did exactly what Rachel did, which was the little, I don't know, it's in her video, just a really basic shape. Cut the second one down the middle so that it would be where it opens and closes. I actually ended up keeping the little things on the curtains that you put the rod through because I thought it looked really similar to his original character design, the little strap that comes across his neck. So I left that in, and it was a really convenient place to put the Velcro, and I just thought it looked kind of Star Wars-y. I'm not sure, but yeah, so I tried my best. Parts of the sleeves aren't sewn on perfectly, and the sleeve cuffs actually ended up being too thick with the layers of Sherpa to put through the sewing machine, so I ended up hand stitching that, and you know, it looked like a hot mess on the inside, but it's fine because he's cute on the outside. I ended up making his neck piece separate because I had no idea how to approach the collar, and I wanted it to be longer than his actual collar because he kind of like sits into it really well, like it kind of covers his shoulders, it's huge. So that actually is a separate piece that you can move around on him. After his clothes were finished, I ended up repainting him, and I think he turned out better. I think he was just way too light the first time. And for his eyes, I had bought a Mod Podge ultra glossy finish thing, and I put that on there, and I just didn't think that it was glossy enough, like it didn't look wet enough and like cute enough. So I actually ended up using clear nail polish, several layers of clear nail polish, and I think that it worked way better. But yeah, so all in all, on Thursday, I watched the video, ordered everything, and began. Friday, went thrifting. Saturday, sculpted, baked, painted, first coat. Sunday, clothing, second paint. So he was like a weekend make. Not a one-day make. I'm not as good as Rachel. He was a weekend make. And then as a finishing touch, he does have little hairs all over his head. I actually ended up taking a rabbit stuffed animal and I cut off little hairs, and then I used some glue and like stuck it down. It is a really, really cute detail in person. I don't know how well it's gonna photograph, but it is a very cute detail. He's just so freaking cute. I literally can't get over it. So this is my son. so much. Literally the best decision I've ever made. I really cannot stress enough how just inspirational Rachel's video was and how helpful it was. This would not have happened had she not made her OG Baby Yoda, so like please go watch that video. Like she's so funny, she makes great content. Please go check her out because this would not have been possible. I would have waited for the merch like everyone else. But yeah, like she's totally right. Like when inspiration strikes, just make something. Just do it. Just do it. Just go forth and do it. I love him so much. Look at him. He's gonna be cute from the side. And he's just so huggable. I want to like get one of those baby carriers and just strap him to my chest because I feel like the world deserves to know him. He will definitely come with me to conventions. Definitely. He's really not that heavy. You know, just have to be mindful of his little ears. But I made his ears, you know, decently thick. I'm not super afraid. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found this helpful. If you want to make your own Baby Yoda, please just go make your own Baby Yoda. Like, it will guarantee happiness. Like, how can you not be happy when you look at his face? Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I am super inconsistent, but I would appreciate the support. But yeah, no, I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope that you love Baby Yoda as much as I do. My son. Bye!